All right, lock in. Lock in. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. So far, so good. Hello. 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 Thanks. Thank you. Yes. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Ah. Okay. So, I won't be playing games right now because I have a certain plan for the first stream return, but this return being on YouTube. Um, but I do. I am able to. This test has been, for the most part, a success, and I'm very happy that it is. I gotta look this up, by the way. EVGA. No, do not turn on game mode. No, no. I'm not even showing what the fuck I'm doing. Hold on. Here we go. I'm watching. Oh, why does it look like this? Ooh. Oh. Okay. So I'm watching this video, right? How to fully optimize your PC for gaming in 10 minutes. The first recommendation this guy makes is enabling game mode. I'm gonna say this right now for the VOD, for when the stream gets turned into a VOD. Do not enable the game mode. Do not do it. Game mode is shit. It is ass. It doesn't even do what it's supposed to do. It makes your FPS worse. Do not turn this on. It's so bad.
Makes it so that less things run in the background. From here, click on graphics, change default graphics settings, and enable optimizations for windowed games.
Windows doesn't have this anymore. I get this is a... Yeah, they don't have this option anymore. They have it, so you have to click on one application at the... You have to click on each application and apply your own GPU. You can't do default high performance GPU anymore. Or maybe it does, but this guy... I don't know if this guy is using Ryzen or Intel, but I have a Ryzen CPU for the streaming PC, and I have an Intel A580 for the GPU for the streaming PC. It does not have the option to select default high performance GPU.
In DX,
Probably because it's the only GPU. Oh no, this guy does have a Ryzen GPU. Wait, Ryzen CPU, I mean. What? What? I don't know.
DX10 and DX11 games such as Fortnite, this setting allows you to use windowed full screen, but still get the same input delay as exclusive full screen. If you see hardware accelerated GPU scheduling on here, I would also recommend turning that on, as it allows you to basically offload more tasks from your CPU to your GPU, which is best for CPU intensive.
They also don't have this option anymore. I think that's just a default thing.
Games like Fortnite where the GPU isn't fully utilized. However, you might not see a performance impact in primarily GPU intensive games, and at worst it can cause system instability and stutters. So definitely try it on, but turn it back off if you notice any of the mentioned issues. Next, we're going to disable core isolation. This feature uses virtualization based security, which reduces gaming performance by 5% on average. It's definitely worth turning off, and as long as you have Windows Defender enabled and don't download stupid shit on the internet, you're good. To disable it, press your Windows key again, type core, and press enter. In here, you can disable memory integrity by flicking that switch. Next, we're gonna debloat Windows for better performance. To do this, we'll be using the newly updated Chris Titus Tech tool. I really like it because you don't have to install anything, and I use this tool after every Windows feature update, as they will often reinstall the bloatware you previously removed. To run the script, press the Windows key, type in PowerShell, then click Run Windows PowerShell as administrator. Then simply type or copy and paste the first line from the description and press enter. After a few seconds, a window like this should pop up. Once this window opens up, click on tweaks. You can safely follow exactly what I'm doing as I run these exact tweaks myself, but I still recommend hovering your mouse over each tweak and read their description so that you know exactly what you're doing. In the advanced tweaks caution section, you can check off basically everything, but for those of you who use Adobe websites like Adobe Express, do not turn on Adobe Network Block as it completely breaks its functionality. As for set display to performance, we're gonna manually adjust those settings later in this video, so don't worry about it for now. Once you're happy with your selection of tweaks, click Run Tweaks, and after a few minutes, this window will pop up saying tweaks are finished and you can close everything off. Next, we're gonna change our power plan, since power plans can have a big impact on both latency and frame rate. Press the Windows key, type power, and hit enter to power plan, power options. If you have
I'm sorry. I've got nothing really to say. I've got nothing really to say about this. About what he said so far. I agree with this. And to be honest, I don't know shit about debloating. I don't usually debloat shit because I don't really need to. I play games on the Linux PC, which is going to be my first full stream setting up because I'm installing a new OS. I'm putting Manjaro back into the Linux PC. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about debloaters. It's good that they allow you to debloat, and I could see that this debloater allows you to remove Copilot. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this program seems cool. This program seems cool. I'm not sure if you can remove OneDrive because it's basically your fucking whole desktop environment, I guess.
But for those of you who use Adobe websites like Adobe Express, do not turn on Adobe Network Block as it completely breaks its functionality. As for set display to performance, we're gonna manually adjust those settings later in this video, so don't worry about it for now. Once you're happy with your selection of tweaks, click Run Tweaks, and after a few minutes, this window will pop up saying tweaks are finished and you can close everything off. Next, we're gonna change our power plan, since power plans can have a big impact on both latency and frame rate. Press the Windows key, type power, and hit enter to open the power options. If you have a mid to high-end PC, we're going to add the ultimate performance power plan, because at least for me, it outperformed every other plan in nearly every category. By default, the ultimate plan doesn't show up, so to add it, open command prompt, copy and paste the text from the description, and press enter. Once you reopen the power options, it'll show up in the additional plans and you can select it. However, I'd recommend running a few benchmarks while switching between power plans to see what works best for you. Now we're gonna...
I kind of want to see... It doesn't show what's inside the ultimate performance mode. I want to see what it has. I want to see what's in that ultimate performance mode. I'm not going to install it now, obviously, but yeah.
Additional plans and you can select it. However, I'd recommend running a few benchmarks while switching between power plans to see what works best in nearly...
And this performance difference does not seem that great, in all honesty.
Ultimate performance power plan, because at least for me, it outperformed...
At least for me, it doesn't really seem worth it for what might be worse stability for your system. Probably. He doesn't really comment on stability at all, but I don't know how to feel.
Now we're gonna just go through every single window setting, and unlike using the debloat tool, you're only ever gonna need to do this once. You can open your settings by pressing Windows and to see what tool you're...
For performance and privacy.
Only ever gonna need to do this once. You can open your settings by pressing Windows and I together. On the left, click on System, then Notifications. Notifications themselves don't affect your performance at all, but the processes that manage them definitely can. So just to avoid any of these headaches, I would disable notifications and enable Do Not Disturb, because who's actually paying attention to their PC notifications? Now click on Personalization.
A lot of people. I don't know what you're I don't know what you mean. Notifications cannot be that demanding on Windows. Come on. Come on, dude. It's a pop-up that you'll get occasionally. You want to know how to like handle your notifications? You just do it with you just set your notifications up in Discord itself. Microsoft barely sends you any notifications. Barely sends you anything. For Discord, just mute servers, bro. Just mute certain servers. That, or just put your shit as do not disturb. Speaking of, I should probably you know, should probably do something real quick. Give me a second. Sorry, I got distracted. But yeah. Notifications should not impact your performance.
Dynamic lighting is basically a background app that manages your RGB lighting that can cause conflicts with other RGB software. Definitely turn these two settings off. Now click on Apps, Advanced App Settings, Share Across Devices, and turn that off. This setting used to be involved in a terrible CPU usage bug that would eat up tons of resources. And even now, disabling the feature reduces background processes and prevents your activity from being shared across your devices, which can help with security. Then go back to Apps and click on Startup Apps. Disable anything you don't need. Once you're done with that, click on Accessibility Settings on the left click on visual effects, and disable both transparency and animation effects. Even though you don't see these effects in game, it still very slightly impacts your performance, so you might as well disable them. Moving on to privacy and security settings, click on
I don't get these settings. I don't think they do. I think this guy's just reaching to like to just say to turn them off.
on it, then click on every subcategory from general to activity history and disable all of it for better privacy and security. As usual,
Yeah, you should probably just turn them off in general when setting up Windows. Just turn them off when in your Windows setup when you're setting up Windows for the first time. Just turn them off.
you can read the descriptions and enable any setting as you see fit, but personally I have everything from. And finally, for the last section in the settings, click on Windows Update on the left, click on Advanced Options, and I'd recommend disabling these top 4 settings, not just for performance, but getting notifications for Windows updates and having your PC update during active hours is not fun. And the very last thing we're gonna do is go to Delivery Optimization and uncheck Allow downloads from other devices. Leaving this setting checked basically allows you to download Windows updates off of other people's computers and vice versa. Disabling this reduces the risk of sending or receiving update data from unknown PCs. It's good for privacy, but
I didn't even realize that was a feature. Excuse me? Why? Why would you have those? Dude, that's such a weird setting to have. Why would you have that?
won't really affect your performance at all. Next, we're gonna disable some advanced system settings. Press your Windows key and type advanced, then press enter. Under performance, click on settings. You can select best performance to get the best performance obviously, but I recommend enabling these 3 settings near the bottom. This mostly helps with system responsiveness, but still makes your PC use less resources while gaming as well. Next, we're gonna tackle some GPU optimization, starting with NVIDIA. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, click the arrow in the bottom right corner of your screen and double-click the NVIDIA logo to open the NVIDIA control panel. Some people still think these settings don't affect performance, but in a lot of games they actually make a noticeable difference. And it only takes about 1 minute to change everything. So click on Manage 3D Settings at the top left and then copy these exact settings. If you want to apply them to a specific game or see if they affect your game, go to the Program Settings tab and select your game file's exe from the dropdown. It'll show you which settings actually do something for that title. For AMD users, these GPU optimizations
Sure, I guess. Sure, I guess.
which settings actually do something for that title. For AMD users, these GPU optimizations increased my 1% lows and decreased both my RAM and VRAM usage by 1 GB each, so definitely don't skip this cog at the top right, then click on Preferences. In here, you want to disable absolutely everything. While you're at it, I would also disable hotkeys.
Why? Wait, you didn't give this recommendation with NVIDIA, so I'm confused why disabling the overlay would be a good thing.
Because there are a lot, and the odds of you accidentally toggling something you didn't mean to are very high. Next, click on Gaming. If you play both single player and
Again, why? I think that's very highly unlikely.
competitive games, you might want to keep your settings separate because some of these settings do sacrifice a tiny bit of visual quality for performance. I'm lazy though, so I'm just going to go to the graphics section instead to adjust for every game and application on my PC. On texture filtering quality, change it from instead to adjust for
Whoa, wait, this guy does have more than one GPU. Excuse me?
every game and application on my PC. On texture filtering quality, change it from standard to performance to prioritize performance over image quality. Surface format optimization gives you better FPS and lower VRAM usage. It's best to keep it enabled for that title.
Oh, so pointless. Okay.
To off. Now for some registry editor tweaks, and yeah, that's 23.7% better 1% lows, which you are going to feel when you're actually playing the game. So open up the registry editor by pressing your Windows key and typing regedit. To get to the correct folder, select the text above and replace it with this line from the description. Once you're here, double click GPU priority and set that to decimal 8. Priority should be set to decimal 6, and both scheduling category and SFIO priority should say high. Next up is Win32 priority separation. Changing this value helps significantly with both application responsiveness and frame rate. To get to the correct folder, copy and paste the next line from the description and press enter.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, I might just stop watching here. Like, I'm just gonna stop watching there. Like, those recommendations are okay, but I wouldn't call that video great. It's just that some of those recommendations seem kind of whack. Like the AMD optimizations is just weird. And I'm pretty sure, like I said in the very beginning of watching the video, hold on, let me just post the link to the video in the chat. Give me a second. Grab this link instead. There we go. Pin it. Yeah. That's how you do it. I'm learning how to use YouTube Live. Yeah. But yeah. A lot of stuff I don't agree with, like the AMD optimization section and the turning on game mode. Do not turn on game mode. Just seriously don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And some of the information's out of date because he has more than one GPU, number one. And number two, some of those features Windows 11 doesn't have anymore. So, I don't know. It was an okay video outside of that. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream. This was a good test. No dropped frames. Around 15% CPU usage. Constant 60 FPS. Bitrate is constantly at 13,500 kilobytes per second. So, yeah, thank you all very much for watching. That would be none of you live, but if you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching. Bye, I guess.